Hello everybody and welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 how-to video. In this video, which is going to be part 2 of our grass care series, we're going to take a look at the tedders and windrowers available in the base game of Farming Simulator 22. So in part 1, we took a look at basically mowing and the various mowers that are available in the base game. And part 2, we're going to take a look at what you need to do after you have mowed the grass. Let's go ahead and take a look in the shop at the two various categories. We have tedders and windrowers. And if you're not familiar, they serve very different functions. So a tedder's main job is to scatter the grass so that it can dry faster. In game, the act of tedding grass will convert it to hay. Now, there has been a little bit of confusion related to Farming Simulator 22 and their inclusion of seasonal cycles. Lots of Farm Sim 19 players who were used to the Seasons mod in Farming Simulator 19 were hoping or expecting that you would be able to dry your grass just naturally by letting it cook in the sun. That is not the case in Farming Simulator 22. In order to get grass to convert to hay, you will need to use a tedder. Here we have 3 of the 4 base game tedders. We have the small Alpine 4.4H tedder. Then we have the Kuhn GF 8712 tedder. And then we have the Pottinger HIT 16.18 tedder. And this one is the big boy. So let's go back into the shop and take a look at these. Once again, tools and tedders. We have the 4.4H, which has 4.4 meter working width. No configuration options. 30 horsepower requirement. Pretty much anything that has an engine can operate this particular tedder. We move up to the GF 8712. This has a 40 horsepower requirement. So pretty much, again, anything with an engine should be able to power this, other than the smallest of small tractors. Moving up, we have the FANX 904. We do not have this out here in front of us. I didn't feel that there was a need to really show you a 9-meter tedder right next to all the others. Same general purpose, though. It is a trailed tedder with a 3-point hitch. It will fold out and then scatter the grass. And then we have the big Pottinger HIT 16.18T. Now, the other thing that we're going to take a look at here today are windrowers. And what windrowers do, their task is to gather grass, hay, or straw and bring it together into a narrow windrow so that then you can easily collect it with a forage wagon or baler, which we'll be taking a look at in part 3 of this grass care series. So windrowers come in a multitude of shapes, sizes, and configurations. We have right here the SIP Air 300F. This is a belt windrower. It has the ability to either windrow to the left or the right, depending on how you want to do it. It is also a front 3-point hitch connector. Then we have the SIP Favorite 254. This is it's also a belt windrower, but the fact is that it's operated by 2 belts that then move these tines, and it will be able to basically windrow, again, from the front to the side. And then we have more of the traditional wheel rakes. We have a Semez wheel rake. Then we have a Kuhn wheel rake, or Krone, sorry, wheel rake. And then the large Kuhn wheel rake in the GA 1513. Then the final windrower that we're going to take a look at here today is the Kuhn Merge Max. This is another belt-driven windrower, and it has the capability of windrowing to the left, windrowing to the right, or windrowing down the center. Let's take a look at those in the shop. We have a category called windrowers. Here we have the 2 front 3-point hitch windrowers, the SIP Favorite 254. or the, yeah, that one, the Vario. Then we have the SIP Air 300F belt. The Favorite will take 20 horsepower, whereas the belt will take 100 horsepower. The Pottinger TOP 2 or 342, we do not have that one set out here. It has a 3.4 meter working width. It is a trailed 3-point hitch windrower, 35 horsepower. We have the Kuhn GA 4731. It has a 4.7 meter working width. It is also trailed with a 3-point hitch. It also requires 35 horsepower. With a Samez Z2 840H, it has an 8.4 meter working width, 80 horsepower. At this point, they are all now trailed behind. The Merge Max is going to require 140 horsepower, has 9.5 meter working width. The Swadro has a 9.7 meter working width, requires only 90 horsepower. And this one is rather unique in that it has 3 wheels and it basically pushes all of the product off to one side. We're going to demonstrate the use of that. And then we have the large GA 15131, 14.7 meter working width, 115 horsepower. Now, there are some various ways that you can use these tedders and a mower in the same pass. Jump in our Landini, and we will connect to our little Kuhn front mower here. And then we'll come back and hook up to this small tedder. And now what I want to demonstrate is we have the ability to mow and ted in the same pass. Now these two mowers, the mower and the tedder, do not quite match up in working with, so there will be a little bit of an overlap in the working area of the tedder, but you'll get the principal idea that we can do multiple things in one pass. Get the mower hooked up, lower the tedder, get it started spinning, and off we go. You can see now the way the tedder works is it spreads the product out. You'll see that it is distinctively a lighter color than the grass around it. So that is how you can tell that it is now hay, a second fill type. So if you've got a small horsepower tractor, you can easily make hay this way by mowing in the front and tedding in the back. Now along the same lines with the tedder, if you wanted to windrow at the same time that you mowed, you could use the front mower and the Kuhn GA 4731 windrower. When you unfold it, you'll see the tines get added to the wheel. And this particular windrower pushes product to the right. So let's go ahead and unfold our mower. Go up and down to get it started. Then we will lower our rake and get it spinning. And the way we can operate this is we can, in essence, mow down one pass like this, and then we're going to turn around and come directly back across the field, windrowing our grass back to the side, and in essence getting 2 passes into one windrow with our front mower. Moving up the mower stack and now tedder product stack. As I alluded to in the mowing video, we could use the Elo Duet front mower, and we could pair it with a Kuhn tedder, specifically the Kuhn GF8712. And what we can then do is mow and ted once again in a single pass. Now the tedder is again a little bit wider than the front mower, but still we are able to get 2 jobs accomplished in a single pass. And then if mowing and baling is what you want to accomplish ultimately for silage bales, then you might want to use the Elo front mower and the Samez windrower to once again perform multiple functions in a single pass. These are the best combinations with respect to working with that we have available in game. We don't have a windrower that is any closer in working with to the Elo front mower or one of the single front mowers that are typically around 3.4 meters in working with. Now looking at the SIP Favorite 254, I think this actually could be used in either a forward or trailed mounting position. This one does have a little extra function. You can left click and then move the mouse left and right, and that will raise and lower this kind of deflection guard. I want to basically see how this thing operates in all of those configurations. You'll see when you turn it on, it is going to windrow to the left. Now we are really kicking the product out there. We lower this down in its narrowest configuration. We are now here. Let's move this over where we can see better. Raise it up. You see we are really kicking that grass way over there. We can lower this down, and now we are keeping that grass much closer. And then if we move this further out, it will change how far out the windrow is being made. So at that point, we're basically doubling one windrow's worth of grass. If we turn around and came back the other direction, and then lowered it down, and then moved it out. Brought it back in. And then raised it up. Now looking at this in the trail configuration, this reports a working width of 2.5 meters. There is a small front mower that has a reported working width of 2.4 meters, so this could possibly work pretty good in a trailed configuration for that small mower. Now this is going to have to operate in a forward operating position, in a forward operating position only. This is a belt mower or belt windrower, and as I said earlier, it has the ability to move product in either direction, left swath or right swath. Right now we are in the left swath mode. You can see the direction the belt is moving. If we go Control Y, we can change it to right swath mode, and now it is moving in the other direction. So you see how this ultimately works. There are fingers that will pick up the product from the front, lands it on the belt, and moves the product to the left or right, depending on the direction of travel for the belt. Pretty cool. Now there are two more Windrowers that I want to demonstrate. That is the Crone here because it has a rather unique configuration, and then the Merge Max because once again it's a belt-driven Windrower that has the ability to shift swath to the left, right, or center drop. You see how this one works? We have 3 wheels, and it will move the product from left to right. So I wanted to demonstrate this. You see we're moving all of the product left to right. And then we could, if we wanted to, double right back and then move 3 more rows of grass from left to right, thus making a windrow that is in essence 6 passes with a front mower. As you can see here from the side angle, we are moving the product from top to bottom of the screen, and as a result we are merging a fair bit of product into a single windrow because we have doubled back upon itself, just like that. And then the last one I wanted to show you was the Coon merger. We'll unfold this. And we'll lower it down. And now you can see it says work mode left. We need to raise it. Now we can control Y. And I'll go merge to the right. There we go. Now we are merging to the middle. And we'll merge back to the left. So there we go. Let's drop it down. Turn it on. And once again, it is a belt-driven mower, or windrower. Merger, I think, is probably more appropriate terminology for this particular piece of machinery. And then if we wanted to, we could lift it. Control Y. Lower it back down, and now we are merging to the right. And then on our return pass, I will merge to the middle. In order to merge, you do need to lift it. Control Y. Now it's going to take product from either side and, like I said, merge it into the middle. Now there's one more thing I want to demonstrate, and that is around the straw that we demonstrated in part 1. You could cut harvestable wheat, barley, or oats, and it will convert it to straw. So I've been asked this question before. Can you windrow straw? Well, sure, of course you can. You can windrow any product that is windrowable. Or swath droppable, I guess I should say. So you can windrow grass, you can windrow hay, and you can windrow straw as far as base game products or fill types. So here we are using our merger to merge the straw, which is simply wheat that we have mowed with a mower when it is in the ready to harvest state, and we are windrowing our straw. And we can do this because it will then help us come around and collect this straw at a later date with either a forage wagon or a baler. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video and hope it was helpful and informative to you. Hopefully maybe you learned something about windrowers or tedders. This video is really intended for the new player, not so much the seasoned farm sim player. But as with so many things, you can always sometimes pick up little tips or tricks. What kinds of tips or tricks do you have for windrowing or tedding? Let me know down in the comments below. And until next time, happy farming.